Tom Aspinall has the perfect opportunity at the moment to defend his interim title against who and why in this video. Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA.
Assalamu alaikum everyone.
As you might know, my boy Tommy Aspinall is the UFC's interim heavyweight champion. Now, the interim heavyweight champion normally should fight the undisputed heavyweight champion, right? But if you know the situation, you know that this fight, if it ever takes place, if he ever fights the winner of Jon Jones versus Stipe, because that's the next fight, if this fight ever happens, it will happen end of 2024, maybe 2025. You know what I mean? So that's quite some time. And Tommy Aspinall, I think he turns 31 now. He is literally hitting his prime right now, or maybe even will hit his prime in a year or something. So he is literally at the point where he should fight as much as he can. Use that body that is still healthy, that is peaking, that is at the height of your skills. Use that, and I think at the moment Tom could beat every single one in the heavyweight division, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
I beat you after a weekend of cocaine.
And prostitutes.
So he could really solidify his name as the greatest heavyweight of all time, but for that, of course, he needs to fight as often as possible. So the thing now is,
Here's the thing, you guys.
should he wait for Jon Jones and just poker that Jon Jones will fight him? Because as I said, the possibility of Jon Jones not wanting to fight him is, after he defeats Stipe, is pretty big.
It's so big.
Jon has nothing to prove, and Tommy Aspinall is the most dangerous matchup Jon Jones ever faced, in my opinion. I think right now, normally you don't defend interim titles. That normally doesn't happen. But I think that could be an opportunity for Tom Aspinall to make his name even greater, to solidify his name even more. Because if you defend your interim belt, that means you're a bad mother effer.
I'm the champ, I'm the king, get out of ah!
Now, defending your interim belt, especially in Tom's situation, is high risk, but in my opinion, also high reward. Now, who should he face? And I think the opponent is pretty important for me even saying you should defend it. I think if the opponent I'm gonna name now would not be where he is right now with all the history, I would not think it would be smart of him to defend the title. But there is a guy named Curtis Blaydes that is the only guy to defeat Tom Aspinall in the UFC. That happened in 2022. I was there in the arena. Tom Aspinall blew his knee out. So Curtis Blaydes did not defeat him like you would think, you know what I mean? That was, I think, TKO after 25 seconds, something like that. I don't think Curtis Blaydes even landed a punch on him, Tom Aspinall neither, but it is on paper a TKO loss, but we obviously all know it's not a real loss. Like, it's not Curtis Blaydes' fault that Tom Aspinall misstepped his knee and blew it out, you know what I mean? But of course, in your head, it's a open bill. It's like, hey, this guy beat me on paper. He put a loss on my record. The only loss in my UFC record. So I want to get that one back. Getting a loss back is so important for a career. Look at GSP. GSP, in my opinion, is the greatest of all time, especially because he got his 2 losses back. Now, granted, the 2 GSP losses were real losses and not missteps, but still, getting your losses back gets your status even higher, like Andrew Tate would say. So that's a positive thing. And also, Curtis Blaydes, in my opinion, for Tom Aspinall, is very beatable. As much as I respect Curtis Blaydes, and I like him, but Tom Aspinall, in my opinion, is the best heavyweight right now on planet Earth. Hate me in the comments. In my opinion, he's skill for skill. Right now, at this stage of his career in the heavyweight division, a better fighter than Jon Jones. Even though I think Jon Jones is the most skilled fighter in history, but Jon Jones is quite the age, and Jon Jones is a natural 205 or not a natural heavyweight. Aspinall is a natural heavyweight.
I'm a little fatty, I am.
For that, I think he beats Curtis Blaydes pretty decisively. In the stand-up, he's a much better striker than Curtis Blaydes. In the grappling, Curtis Blaydes maybe, I would say the wrestling is probably on the same level. Defensive wrestling of Aspinall is better though. I mean, Curtis Blaydes got taken down pretty easily by Jailton Almeida. Of course, he finished him, but still got taken down and held down pretty easily. Aspinall is much better on the ground in terms of jiu-jitsu. Blaydes has beautiful ground and pound though. But still, I see no realm other than a knockout that can always happen in the heavyweight division, a lucky punch, where Aspinall loses this fight. I really don't think. I think Tom Aspinall beats him at every part of the game. But Curtis Blaydes is coming off a win against the hope of the division. Charlton Almeida was like the dark horse that like, oh, this guy is so dangerous, blah, blah, blah. And Curtis Blaydes just beats him. So if Tom Aspinall now beats Curtis Blaydes, he beat the hype train derailer, you know what I mean? Curtis Blaydes' name has value again. If he would have lost to Charlton Almeida, there's nothing to get there for Aspinall. And if he beats Cyril Gane, well, people are gonna say, yeah, Cyril Gane never had a ground game. You know what I mean? With Curtis Blaydes, what are they gonna say?
You keep your mouth shut, kid.
So I think it's a perfect time. It's a perfect time. Of course, as I said, high risk. But the reward is you are such a badass. Everyone's gonna love you because you went out there, put your balls on the freaking table and said, I'm gonna defend my interim belt even though I don't have to, and that never happens. I'm gonna defend my interim belt. And then you go out there, spar Curtis Blaydes, beat him, and you're still the interim champ. How that will sound off Bruce will be crazy. And then whatever happens between Jones and Stipe, everyone knows you're the real heavyweight champion. That is such a great opportunity for you, in my opinion at least.
This isn't a career. This is not a career. This is an opportunity.
And if you don't fight Curtis Blaydes and you wait for Jon Jones or wait for the fight to happen, end of the year or something, you just lose a lot of time that you could have spent fighting, because we know if you don't use it, you lose it. Training is nice, but fighting in the cage, if you don't fight in the cage for 2-3 years, there's something called ring rust that, in my opinion, even though Dominic Cruz disagrees, is real. So you keep yourself active, you keep yourself in fight motion, even though Aspinall trains every day, twice a day, he said, still, which is crazy. But it's good to keep the flow going, have another win on your record, have another big paycheck. He probably gets pay-per-view points, even though it's the interim champ, he probably gets pay-per-view points. There's so many wins there for me. So many wins, and the only possibility in the negative way is the one that you always have when you step in the cage: you might lose. What is your opinion? Should Tom Aspinall fight Curtis Blaydes? Should he wait for the winner of Stipe versus Jones, or until they both retire? Write in the comments. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, guys. Would appreciate that. Check out the Bloodsport merch, bloodshop.net, links in bio. Stay bloody, you guys, and until the next one, bye-bye. Bloodsport out.